Hi everyone! Welcome to Souped Up Recipes. Today we are making stir-fry beef in black bean sauce. This dish is super popular in south of China. You can find it in school canteens, takeout restaurants, regular family dinner tables, or tea house dim sum places. I grew up with it and I'm super excited to share it with you. First, let's take care of the beef. What I'm using is top sirloin fillet. You can use other cuts such as flank steak or chuck roast. Cut it into a few big chunks. Then find the direction that the muscle fibers are aligned. Slice the meat across the grains instead of parallel with them. The thickness should be around 1/5 of an inch. 1 pound of beef is enough to serve 3 people with some white rice. If you have a big family, you can double the recipe. Marinate with half teaspoon of salt or to taste. Sprinkle it here and there. 1/3 teaspoon of baking soda. Baking soda will break down the meat fibers and tenderize your beef. 1 teaspoon of cornstarch. This will wrap around the beef and create a thin starchy layer which will protect the beef from drying out while cooking. Half tablespoon of Chinese cooking wine. Half tablespoon of soy sauce. Last, half teaspoon of dark soy sauce for the color. Stir to mix well. When you coat the meat with starch, it increases the chance of food sticking to the wok. Therefore, we will add a drizzle of vegetable oil to cover everything so it will stick less. Set that aside for 15 minutes. While waiting, we can prepare the bitter melon. Discard the end first. Cut it in half, then quarter it. This is the must-have ingredient for Cantonese people whenever we make stir-fry beef in black bean sauce. Although it is bitter, it goes really well with the sauce. If you don't like it or you don't have access to buy it, you can use broccoli, asparagus, or celery as a replacement. The white inside part has a spongy texture. We want to remove it completely because it is the most bitter part. Use a rounded teaspoon to scrape the last bit of the white part. Once it is clean, you can cut it with a 45-degree angle into 1/2 of an inch thick slices. Season it with 1 teaspoon of salt. Rub for a minute or two. The salt will draw out some moisture and reduce the bitter taste. Of course, if you are using a non-bitter vegetable, you don't need to rub it with salt. Let this sit for 15 minutes. Squeeze out as much moisture as you can. Look how much liquid we got. Discard that. We will rinse the bitter melon with cold running water several times and try to wash off the salt as much as possible. The cells will start absorbing some water and it will become crunchy again. Drain it thoroughly. Set it aside. Besides that, I also prepared 2 cloves of garlic and 1/2 inch of ginger. I sliced them thinly. Before cooking, let's quickly make a sauce. You will need 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 1/2 tablespoon of oyster sauce, 2 tablespoons of black bean sauce. This is what I'm using. I'll link this product in the description. I also have a similar stir-fry beef recipe in which I showed you how to make your own black bean sauce. I'll link that video in the description. You can check it out later. Continue by adding 2 teaspoons of cornstarch and 3/4 cup of beef stock. Mix well and set it aside. Turn the heat to high and heat the wok until it is smoking hot. Add 2 to 3 tablespoons of cooking oil and swirl it around to cover the whole bottom. Loosen up the beef before adding it to the wok so they don't stick to each other. The wok is super hot. You only need to stir this for a minute or two. I know that doesn't sound like enough time to cook the meat through. That is because we will cook it furthermore. If the beef is fully cooked at this moment, it will be overcooked after we mix it with the bitter melon. Once most of the beef has changed color, but not all of them, you should see some pink color here and there. Turn off the heat, take the beef out. Be sure to tilt the wok so you can leave the oil in there. Turn the heat back on medium, toss in the garlic, ginger, and the bitter melon. We will stir this for a few minutes or until the bitter melon is a bit soft. Then pour in the sauce. Introduce the beef back into the wok. Keep mixing for a minute or two. You are done! This is an easy but classic recipe. Every school I went to had this dish on the canteen menu. We normally serve it with white rice. The beef is perfectly cooked, soft and tender. I know some of you will imagine that the beef must taste bitter. Nope, not at all. Even though the bitter melon is bitter, it never passes its bitterness to other ingredients that it cooks with. Instead, it provides a slight refreshing scent, which makes the beef taste even better. I hope you enjoyed this recipe and give it a try soon. This video is sponsored by Souped Up Recipes Wok. I am selling this wok and I'm proud to recommend it to you as I have been using it on my channel for years. It is lightweight and it responds to heat changes quickly and evenly. It can also sustain super high temperature without damage. Perfect for wok cooking. If you're interested in Chinese cuisine and you want to learn how to make authentic Chinese food, you definitely need this as it is the most basic cookware in Chinese cuisine. Please click the link in the description and check out the item. By the way, we just relaunched this wok in UK because last year we weren't able to ship to UK anymore after Brexit. Now you can buy it again. It's free shipping and tax included. Okay, I think that is all for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching and I will see you next time. Bye!